Subtitle: An unimaginable ultrasonic party just started. Phones blasted mystic energy as a female devotee urged Hart to stay. But Hart, with an unfazed look, pulled out her gun and sent the screaming follower off on the ultimate vacation. The gunshot sounded like a distress signal, and people in the church instantly went berserk, treating Hart like a target. Hart, wielding the truth like a superhero, precisely dealt with each opponent, not wasting a single bullet. After running out of bullets, she resorted to her fists. Merlin, supporting remotely, failed to waken Hart. She turned into a heartless killing machine, with hundreds in the church becoming her targets. A few minutes later, Hart was the only one left. At this point, she regained consciousness, stumbled out of the church to find the director waiting anxiously, asking, "What did you do for me?" "I didn't control anything," the director smugly admitted, revealing that this billionaire had some twisted thoughts in her head. She believed that humanity was a virus on Earth, calling for a grand cleansing, which is why she began handing out free deadly phone cards. These phone cards emitted signals that could drive people insane and turn them against each other, leaving only those with special chips and skates. The previous Blue Lord found out about her plan and was consequently sent to his doom by the director. Hart's sacrifice not only threw Merlin and Arthur into deep thought but also fueled Taryn's rage, vowing to avenge her mentor. Taryn pleaded with Arthur to give her Hart's seat, only to realize that Arthur had a special chip scar on her neck. Taryn understood everything but feigned ignorance. She took the snowflake handed to her by Arthur, her heart already pounding. Arthur took out a custom pen to remotely trigger toxins, admitting headlong being in the director's plan. Hart's intel was leaked by her, and she invited Taryn to join the new world, but Taryn flatly refused. Arthur, shocked by Taryn's ingratitude, pressed the toxin trigger. Oddly, Taryn was fine, but Arthur felt a sharp pain in his heart. Taryn had already switched the positions of the poison while Arthur was talking. Then, she learned from Arthur's phone that something big was about to happen. In 6 hours, the director will use satellites to emit jamming signals globally, as she and a group of chip people hide in the snowy mountains. Taryn revealed Arthur's betrayal to Merlin and new agent Susan, and the fate of saving the world now rested on the shoulders of the three of them. They quickly split up, with Susan's mission to ride a hot air balloon to the edge of the atmosphere to destroy the director's transmission satellite. This temporarily halts the director's transmission system. Taryn and Merlin head into the snowy base. At that moment, Merlin handed Taryn a custom suit, saying, "This is what Hart prepared for you." Taryn donned black shoes, a fancy watch, signature ring, and super cool English glasses, becoming a top agent instantly. This was not only her first combat mission but also a style duel. Using Arthur's identity, she reached the snowy base swiftly. Taryn, under Arthur's name, infiltrated the banquet hall, quickly locating a guest using the internal network, and knocked them out with a tranquilizer. Just as she successfully hacked into the director's system, a knife suddenly pressed against her neck. It was Charlie, who had participated in agent trials alongside her. Sensing trouble, the director postponed the agent talk by 2 minutes. Merlin, monitoring, grew anxious. By this time, Susan had already reached the edge of the atmosphere, but sudden changes in air pressure and temperature blew up one of her balloons. What a twist! She steadied herself, re-aimed, and successfully launched a missile, destroying his satellite and momentarily foiling the director's plans. Meanwhile, Taryn used the shock ring to escape, searching for an exit in the maze-like base while fending off pursuers. Not only did she need to deal with incoming pursuers, but she also had to face various weapon attacks. Luckily, her coordination skills were on point. Just then, Merlin, preparing for backup, found the director's satellite was in biosecurity mode, blocking remote access. The sole way stopped the director from touching the control panel. Taryn just boarded, out of breath. Upon receiving this dreadful news, she updated her gear and charged out of the plane, heading straight for the director. With her black umbrella's bulletproof and shooting features, she quickly routed the soldiers. But before she could bask in her glory, a soldier with a heavy machine gun shot right through her black umbrella. What a shocker! In a desperate moment, Taryn pulled out a hand grenade lighter from her pocket and hurled it into the crowd. But as her firepower dwindled, she found herself cornered. Just as Merlin was about to be attacked by rockets, Taryn thought of the self-destruct chips implanted in the director's minions' necks. If she couldn't breach the satellite system, she'd hack into the self-destruct system of those chips. The director immediately sensed the chip system had been breached, but before she could react, Merlin activated the self-destruction sequence. The soldiers felt something off in their necks, and the next moment, their heads exploded like fireworks, a truly explosive scene. Whether it was the heads of state in meetings or the elites in the banquet hall, everyone turned into vibrant fireworks, completely infuriating the director. She reactivated the system, and the phone card's signal was released, sending people spiraling back into a frenzy of mutual slaughter. Meanwhile, Taran, who was about to take down the director, was suddenly stopped by a woman in the room. It turned out she was the imprisoned princess. The princess declared that if Taran could successfully save the world, she would let Taran go out the back door. Upon hearing this, Taran was instantly pumped up, picking up a rifle and gearing up for action. Director's aide Camille broke a glass, lunged at Taran, blades flash, shattering his rifle. Facing Camille's blades, Taran deftly and swiftly dodged them while seeking a chance to counterattack. Out of breath, Taran grabbed the severed tie, flashing a charming smile. However, Camille's arm was cut by the poisoned blade, and the toxin quickly spread, causing her to collapse shortly thereafter.